Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Behaviours podcast. My name is Sally. In my channel we will dive into the world of narcissism and its effects in our relationship and daily lives. In today's episode I'll be talking about how to set financial boundaries with a narcissistic family member or a friend. But first, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, or follow me if you are listening on social media for more episodes on understanding and dealing with narcissism. So, setting financial boundaries with a narcissistic family member can be challenging, but it is important to protect your financial well-being and avoid being taken advantage of. Here are some steps that you can take to set financial boundaries. Step number 1. Define your financial boundaries. It is important that you take time and to think and define your financial boundaries, which means establishing a clear understanding of what type of financial interactions you are willing to engage in with your narcissistic family member and what type of interactions you are not comfortable with. This may involve setting limits on financial support you are willing to provide, such as limiting the amount of money you lend or give to them, or setting boundaries on the types of financial requests you are willing to fulfill, such as refusing, for example, to co-sign a loan or provide an ongoing financial support. It may also involve setting limits on types of financial discussions you are willing to have with the narcissist. For example, you're not discussing your own financial situation, or you are not allowing the narcissist to criticize your financial decisions. By defining your financial boundaries, you create a clear framework for your interactions with the narcissistic family member, which can help you protect your own financial well-being and avoid being taken advantage of. The second step that you can take to set financial boundary with a narcissistic family member is to communicate your boundaries clearly. It may be obvious that you will need to communicate your boundaries, however, you have to be very clear. It is very important of clearly communicating your financial boundaries to your narcissistic family member. This involves expressing your limits, boundaries, and expectations for your financial interactions with them. It is crucial to be direct and clear and concise in your communication, and always use I statements to explain your positions. I personally like I statements because it's a way of communicating that focuses on your own feelings and your own experiences rather than blaming or attacking the other person. For example, instead of saying you are always asked for money and it is not fair, you could say I feel uncomfortable lending money because it puts a strain on my finances. I find, and that's why I prefer this approach, is it is less confrontational and more effective in getting your point across. It is also important to be firm and assertive when communicating your boundaries, but also do it respectfully. You may say things like, I understand you need help, but I am not in a position to lend you money at this time. Or you could say, I am happy to help you in any other ways, but I can't give you money anymore. Things like that. So by setting clear boundaries and expectation and communicating clearly, you will be better equipped to protect your financial well-being and avoid being taken advantage of by the narcissistic family member. Step number 3 on how to protect yourself or set financial boundaries with a narcissistic family member is to stick to your boundaries. The importance of sticking to your boundaries, even if your narcissistic family member tries to manipulate or guilt trip you into doing something you are not comfortable with. Narcissistic individuals often have a way of making others feel guilty or responsible for their problems or even financial difficulties. They may try to pressure you into lending them money, co-signing loan, or even giving them financial support in some other way. However, it is important to remember that you have the right to set boundaries to protect yourself and to protect your financial well-being. and that you are not responsible for solving their financial problems. Sticking to your boundaries can be difficult when dealing with a narcissistic family member because they may react negatively and try to use financial manipulation and try to use emotional manipulation to get what they want. The narcissist may try to make you feel guilty or responsible for their financial problems, or they may try to make you feel like you are being selfish or uncaring. However, it is important to stay firm and communicate your boundaries clearly, even if it means saying no to their requests. By sticking to your boundaries, you are protecting yourself from being taken advantage of and setting clear precedent for the future interactions. It may be challenging, but it is important to prioritize your own financial well-being and to not let the narcissistic family member behavior dictate your actions. Step number 4 on how to set financial boundaries with a narcissistic family member is to limit your interactions. If your narcissistic family member continues to violate your financial boundaries even after you have communicated them clearly, you may need to limit your interactions with them. This means that you might need to see them less often or avoid financial discussions altogether. Limiting your interactions with the narcissistic family member can be difficult, but it can also be necessary to protect yourself from further financial harm. It may also be helpful to reduce the amount of emotional manipulation and stress that you experience in your relationship with this family member. By setting boundaries and limiting your interactions, you are taking steps to establish your own financial independence and protect your financial well-being. This can be a challenging process, but it is important to remember that you have the right to prioritize your own needs and goals, even if it means creating distance between yourself and the narcissistic family member. And finally, step 5 in how to set financial boundaries with a narcissistic family member is to seek support. Remember, setting financial boundaries is an important way to protect yourself from being taken advantage of by the narcissistic family member. And staying firm, communicating clearly, all important steps. However, you may need support. You may need to go and seek help when it's necessary. When dealing with the narcissistic family member, it can be emotionally challenging to set boundaries and to stick to them. Narcissists can be very skilled at manipulating and guilting others into doing what they want, which can make it difficult to assert yourself and prioritize your own needs. Seeking support from friends, family members, or even a therapist can help you in maintaining your boundaries and taking care of your own emotional well-being. And encouragement to stick to your boundaries. They also can help you brainstorm strategies for dealing with a narcissistic family member and offer you suggestions for how to handle the difficult situation. Also, the therapist can provide you with the professional support and guidance for setting boundaries and dealing with the emotional toll of interacting with a narcissistic family member. They can also help you provide a coping strategy and offer you a safe place to process your feelings and experiences. In conclusion, setting financial boundaries with a narcissistic family member is challenging, but important step in protecting your financial well-being and avoid being taken advantage of. By defining your boundaries, communicating them clearly, and sticking to them, as well as asserting yourself and prioritizing your own needs and seeking support from friends, from family members, or even a therapist, can be helpful in maintaining your boundaries and taking care of your emotional well-being. Remember that setting boundaries is not easy, but it is necessary for your own financial health and overall well-being. So that's it for today's episode. I hope you found it helpful and educational. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you think the best way to set financial boundaries with a narcissistic family member, and share it with us here on the channel. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day. See you next time. Take care.